Hello, my name is Tyler Horton, and welcome to Grammar Pitfalls Simplified. This lesson was created to support the Vector Virtual Communication Lab at Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. Today we're going to walk through 12 of the most common grammar pitfalls students make. You'll learn how to fix them and understand why they matter. The lesson is designed to be visual, simple, and helpful for all types of learners, especially non-native English speakers and STEM majors. Let's begin by looking at what you'll learn in this lesson. You'll be able to identify 12 common grammar pitfalls, understand what causes them, learn simple fixes, and apply them to your own writing. Plus, you'll get a downloadable infographic at the end to keep as a quick reference guide. Subject-verb agreement. Subject-verb agreement simply means the subject and verb must match in number. If your subject is singular, your verb should be singular too. If your subject is plural, your verb should be plural. For example, the data are accurate is correct because data is a plural noun, even though it sounds singular. Always identify your subject first, then double check your verb. Passive voice. In passive voice, the subject of the sentence is acted upon instead of doing the action. For example, the report was written by her focuses on the report, not the writer. Active voice is usually clearer and stronger. She wrote the report puts the emphasis where it belongs, on the person taking action. In professional writing, active voice helps your message come across more confidently and directly. Misplaced modifiers. A misplaced modifier is when a descriptive word or phrase is too far from the thing it's supposed to describe, which can confuse or even completely change the meaning. In our example, walking to school, I saw a dog, correctly shows that I was walking. But if you say, saw a dog walking to school, it sounds like the dog was going to school. Always place modifiers right next to the word they're modifying. Wrong prepositions. Prepositions like from and than often trip people up. Small changes can create big differences in meaning. The correct phrase is, she's different from her brother, not different than. Prepositions set up relationships between words, and choosing the wrong one can make your sentence sound awkward or grammatically incorrect. Run-on sentences. Run-on sentences happen when two complete ideas are connected without the proper punctuation. For example, I love writing, I hate editing forces two independent thoughts into one messy sentence. The fix is simple. You can use a period, a semicolon, or a coordinating conjunction like and or but to separate them. Clean breaks between ideas make your writing easier to understand. Parallel structure. Parallel structure means making your list or patterns consistent. Instead of mixing forms like to swim, hiking, and to bike, which is awkward and confusing, keep everything in the same form, swimming, hiking, and biking. Readers expect patterns, and when your sentence structure flows smoothly, your ideas are easier to absorb. Comma splices. A comma splice is when two independent clauses are joined just by a comma, which isn't strong enough to hold two full thoughts together. For example, he applied, he was accepted needs a fix. You can split it into two sentences, join with a coordinating conjunction like and, or use a semicolon to connect the ideas properly. A comma alone is never enough for two full sentences. Wordiness. Wordiness clutters up writing and makes it harder for readers to find your main point. Phrases like, due to the fact that, can usually be trimmed down. Just say because. Readers today prefer quick, direct communication. Every extra word you can cut strengthens your overall message. Apostrophe confusion. Let's look at two very common apostrophe mistakes shown here. First, the top example is about its versus its with an apostrophe. Its paws are dirty is correct, no apostrophe because its shows possessions. Its paws are dirty is wrong here because its with an apostrophe means it is, and that wouldn't make sense in the sentence. A good trick, try replacing its with it is. If the sentence sounds wrong, you need its with no apostrophe instead. Now for the second example, he's happy today with an apostrophe versus he's happy today. He's is correct. The apostrophe shows a contraction for he is. Without the apostrophe, he's is just wrong. It looks incomplete and confusing. So remember, use an apostrophe to make a contraction like he's, but don't add one when it's showing possession with its. Misused apostrophes. A common mistake is using apostrophes where they don't belong, especially in regular verbs and plurals. For example, you might see someone write, "She walks to school" with an apostrophe. That's incorrect. Apostrophes are only used for two things: showing possession, like Sarah's book, with an apostrophe, or creating contractions like "she's happy" for "she is happy." In the sentence, "she walks to school," there's no possession and no contraction, so no apostrophe is needed. Just remember, if you're not showing ownership or combining two words, leave the apostrophe out. Tense shifts. Tense shifts confuse readers when you suddenly jump between past, present, or future without a clear reason. For example, "she writes the draft and submitted it" mixes present and past. Stay consistent within a sentence unless you are deliberately shifting from meaning. In professional writing, clear, steady tense use makes your story or argument easier to follow. Semicolon fixes. A semicolon links two independent clauses that are closely related but could stand on their own. For example, "he's tired," thus, "he's cranky." The semicolon properly connects the ideas, and the transition word "thus" explains the relationship. Without a semicolon, using just a comma creates a run-on. Semicolons are a powerful tool for showing strong relationships between ideas without overusing periods. Alright, quick apostrophe check. Take a look at these sentences. Only one uses an apostrophe correctly. Remember, apostrophes show possession or contractions, not just random verbs. Think carefully. Which one looks right? The correct answer is B. The dog's collar is red. Here, the apostrophe shows that the collar belongs to the dog. In the other examples, apostrophes are incorrectly added to verb like talks or walks. Next, let's test how well we fix run-ons. Here's a messy sentence. "The meeting started late, people were still arriving." Look at the options. Which one properly connects those two independent thoughts? Hint: sometimes you'll need more than just a comma. The correct answer is C. The meeting started late, however, people were still arriving. Notice we use a semicolon plus a transition word. That's a great strategy to fix run-ons when you want to keep ideas closely connected. Let's move into one of the trickiest common pitfalls: its versus its. Which sentence correctly shows possession without mistakenly adding an apostrophe? Think about whether the sentence is showing ownership or if it's a contraction like "it is." The correct answer is B. The dog chased its tail around the yard. Remember, its shows possession without an apostrophe, while its with an apostrophe always means it is or it has. Finally, let's check for comma splices. A comma splice happens when two full sentences are joined with just a comma, and that's not strong enough. Which option here shows that mistake? The correct answer is A. She applied for the internship, she received a call back. That's a comma splice because both sides could stand alone as complete sentences. To fix it, you need to add a semicolon, a conjunction like "and," or split it into two sentences. You've seen the infographic reveal piece by piece. Now here it is in full. This graphic is designed to be easy to reference, whether you're writing a paper, email, or report. Keep it open while writing or reviewing your drafts to spot and fix common pitfalls before submission. Now go ahead and download the full infographic using the QR code shown here. Save it on your computer or on your phone and tablet to use on the go while working on your writing. For more help, you can always visit the Vector Virtual Communication Lab online, where expert tutors are ready to assist you with your writing and communication projects. Vector is here to support your academic and professional success.